opening verse and like some, but like the last solid 3 minutes is just him saying that as the song fades out.
Oh my god.
So it's just 3 minutes of I'm getting closer to my home. I'm like, all right, welcome back to some more of Psychonauts. All right, so here we are. We're going to find the true identity of the Phantom. You think it's Gloria's mother.
I feel like that would be really cool.
It's actually Dagrin.
It's Dagrin. I'm telling you, I'm
Dagrin
going to
the
make
whole
those
time.
t-shirts
That'd
of
be
like
awesome.
our little chibis.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, well, you know, one of the like arms up, shoulder shrugs. And it'll just say like, it was Dagrin
Okay,
the whole
Alright.
time.
Here we
it's
go.
time to find out who you really are. What?
Who's that?
The Critic.
I totally guessed that.
So you didn't even know he was a character.
Yeah. Nuh-uh, you said it was Becky.
Okay, the jig is up, Phantom.
What? Why, I never. How dare you accuse me of being the rugged and romantic scoundrel that has thrilled and terrified audiences for years?
Yeah, I guess you're right. He's so agile and limber and thin. He could never be you.
Why, you. Of course it's me!
Well, it's time to hang up the cape, Tubbs, because your days of terrorizing the theater as the Phantom are over.
Maybe as the Phantom, but he's nothing compared to the full destructive force of an angry critic.
How can I say this and still sound cool? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me?
Well then, how about these?
I wish you would just jump up behind your chair.
Why? So she can try to climb.
Excuse me, bend your back, please. Thank you. I need to get up a little higher.
All right, so it was the Critic the whole time, and I was just like, aw, that's kind of predictable. Bummer. Like, I get it. It's her inner critic tearing her down, and we gotta, like, get rid of the critic so that she can love herself. But I feel like there's more layers to, like, it's her mother haunting
Oh,
her.
yeah.
The idea of her mother.
I feel like it would be more relatable.
Yeah, and, like, it's more suitable for, like, the Phantom's physique. It's like a phantom of her past or something like that.
Yeah.
But, like, you could also argue that, like, it's the critic disguising as a phantom of the... I don't know. This whole area is kind of, like, fine. Like, the boss is fine. You have to put a candle in here, ignite it, and it blinds him. And then you go down and beat him up while taking care of all the minions that come after you. And, yeah, you just kind of rinse and repeat. Again, it's fine. It's serviceable. It's just they could have been a lot more creative.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. I think it would have been a twist if, like, the critic wasn't the bad guy. He's still kind of rude, but, like, he's not evil. Because, like,
Yeah.
criticism's important.
Yeah.
It's good to, like, reflect on criticism and take critique well. I understand that, like, this is a destructive critic. But I don't know. I like your idea better. That's just what I'll...
I mean, Dagrin has a way of scooting into stories.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. All right, so every time you blind him, he destroys that spotlight, and you move on to another spotlight. So yeah, what I advise, and like it was something I goofed up on with the practice session, is if you ignore the minions and just try to go after him, they will get in the way of a lot of your shots and interrupt a lot of your attacks, making it just a lot more stressful than it needs to be. Whereas if you're just like shooting them and it's ricocheting, you can hit the boss, you can hit them, get them out of your way. You're covering a lot more ground if you take in consideration all the obstacles standing between you and the boss.
Okay.
Because he's only down there for a brief period of time, then he gets back up and regains his strength. But we almost got him already. Just ride the music up.
That is really neat. Like the music stops.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot. I let go too soon.
just plain bad.
Oh yeah, he's critiquing you the entire time.
Disgusted had they managed to stay awake.
Your commentary is dull and predictable.
Hot beam! Hot! Kill him before he
Game
gets
of
over here!
ocular agony.
So yeah, we're just gonna clear out the room a little bit. And then I'll go after him. See? I'm still attacking him. And it's ricocheting and hitting the bats. And there we go, we got him.
Is it going to be a long, dramatic death scene?
Can't you take a little criticism?
Just hamming it up.
Girlie, you don't have to dig your nails into me. I'm trying to placate the cat.
That's okay. And with the critic gone, we can finally finish this play.
Once again, by Bonita Soleil.
Becky's like, that's for thinking it was me, bitch.
You better listen to me. You're no good. This place stinks. It's worse than ever before. Oh, I can't believe you call this.
So this is a nice touch. We didn't get rid of the criticism.
from down here, but I
We didn't destroy it. We just minimized it. Yep.
know you've got
And his little bucket of popcorn.
Your knees are ugly, and you snort when you laugh.
Your knees are ugly and you snort when you laugh.
He's really trying everything just to insult because he realized his word has no power over us. It's like, you've seen the new It movie, right? But part 1 and part 2?
Just part 1.
Oh, okay. Damn, I can't spoil. But part 2 is similar in that aspect.
Handsome. The spotlight is all
Do they
yours.
just have like a little itty bitty
I
Pennywise?
believe I shall happily retire while I'm still
Yeah.
young.
More or less. Like, that's more or less the resolution.
Recognition.
All right, we got Gloria's trophy. So now we have all the pieces to access the asylum. So before we enter the asylum, it's time to do the scavenger hunt.
Ooh.
Yep.
I can't
And after I do
remember
the
last
scavenger
time I
hunt,
came
that
out
gives
here
us some
at
more
night.
ranks.
It's so
And
beautiful.
then we're going to take a little pause, and I'm going to collect not all the figments, because the hell with that, but I'm going to go after the brains, the mental baggage, and the cobwebs.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that in a similar fashion to the I Am Setsuna chests.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, we will be scaling the asylum tower.
Yeah. Because that one is more or less like if you're watching the playthrough to see like how to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think that episode will be really good for you, for those people,
Okay.
to see where everything's at. But it would also be really boring for us to just do it and commentate over top of it.
Mm-hmm. So voila. Oh my goodness, cat.
I know, she's like sticking to my leg with her claws. And if you guys caught our community post, I hurt my back again. Similar to year 1 of Pupcorn.
Yeah, only this time you're not on the floor with the microphone just dangling directly above
Yeah.
you as we
Yeah,
record
I'm-
some Gex.
I'm able to sit a little uncomfortably, but sit nonetheless, which is vastly improvement.
No, you've been
to last
improving a
time.
lot quicker than last time.
Oh yeah.
Well, shut my
Like
mouth.
even day 1, you were like miles ahead of where you were.
Yeah, I was just like, I hurt my back, but I wasn't like
Is my old
in
brain
tears.
walking around yet?
So far, the only time I cried was after I got adjusted and I was trying to get in my car
Like such a damn
and I got
fool.
stuck.
Agent Cruller?
What is the current
But-
situation?
But yeah, so Booby is trying to like sit on my lap, but like She's not a big cat, and she's not a
No.
heavy cat, but
No.
like the weight on my leg hurts my back.
Okay.
So, and she's just like, I don't understand. I just want you to love me. So I'm like, of course I will love you.
Here we go. Getting ourselves some more card for some more challenge markers. And maybe we can empty some cobwebs as well, because it's been a while since we went to Ford's lab. We kind of went from one level to the next.
Yeah.
So now we're all stocked up.
I still need to buy a
Oops,
Psychor
gotta buy a
before I
Psychor still.
can use this machine to make side
Alright,
challenges.
gotta go to the store. Gotta go back to the store. See what we can buy. But no, we're approaching the end game of Psychonauts. Does this still fall into a category of a game you're fine with watching?
Yeah.
Or would you just find yourself playing it?
Yeah, I still think that I would be happier watching it than trying to play it. Just because I think I have a hard time understanding like where I would need to go.
Okay.
Like what I would need to do.
I got you.
And also like what I can and cannot interact with, what I need to interact with versus like
Oh, there's something up in the
needing
rafters.
something to progress the game.
I got you. Come here.
It's
It is.
ugly.
All right, we've already finished half the scavenger hunt because I've been collecting a couple items in between episodes as I see them. So we're halfway there, living on a prayer. We got the voodoo doll.
You'd think he'd be almost there by now. Well, I'm halfway there.
Oh my god. There's this song that I used to give my dad a lot of shit for. It goes, I'm getting closer to my home.
You'd
and it
think
has
you'd
like
be there by
it
now.
has an opening verse and like some, but like the last solid 3 minutes is just him saying that as the song fades out.
Oh my god.
So it's just 3 minutes of I'm getting closer to my home. I'm like, is he fucking there yet? Just like how, like I hate that. I understand the importance of it, and a lot of songs do it to where
I
like
know.
they'll
I'm not a
repeat
super
repeat
big-
until they fade out.
Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of that. I would rather the song just end with instrumental.
Yeah, like Freebird.
Yeah.
Like I love how like there is so little lyrics in Freebird, and then it just goes ham into
I
one
do
of
wish
the
it
greatest
wasn't, like,
solos.
So long though. It's such a long song.
But it's a hell of a solo. Like it keeps going. I'm just like, well, damn. Like there's a lot of songs that like just go off into a solo, and like that's the majority of the song. Or like there's other long songs that are pretty creative, even
yeah.
though like they're still really long. Like I'll give it to Bohemian Rhapsody.
I was just about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Like that's a long song, but like it has layers. It
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
advancing. Another one is American Pie. Like it's
Yeah.
similar. There's a chorus, but like they keep adding more to
Right.
the song, to where it's almost like a story being told.
Well, because that's what Bohemian Rhapsody is. It's a story.
Yes.
About a guy who kills someone, runs away, gets caught, gets tossed in prison.
But like I will take that over just like repeating the same lines
yeah.
over and over to elongate the song. Like are songs like YouTube, you make more money if it's longer, so you elongate it, and it's just like, there we go, this song's gonna make more money.
I mean, maybe because for the sale of like VHS or CDs, like
Mm-hmm.
you could only put so much on one. Like MP3s didn't exist yet.
Right.
So like, I guess like a 2-pack CD, CD1 and CD2 would be more expensive than just one CD.
Okay. So yeah, maybe that's like the thought process. Or like, I understand if like you just want to jam for the sake of jamming and people want to like listen to the music.
That's
That's
called a remix.
cool. But I don't understand like repeating the lyrics. I don't know. Again, it's a pet peeve of mine. I know it's probably an acquired taste, and probably some people don't even notice.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain spiraled a little
I got a
bit.
fossil.
And I just thought of like one of my favorite videos. I think it was a Vine. Is this little girl on an airplane and she's singing her ABCs but all out of order.
Oh my.
And then someone stands up and they go, "Yes, girl, remix." And it just made me chuckle. But it also messes with me sometimes because I'm like, there is no reason why our ABCs are in that order. It's not like numbers where it's like 2 is greater than 1. So it, grows. There's no reason the ABCs are the way they are.
Rules are meant to be broken.
Yes, girl. Remix.
I know there's a song for like saying the alphabet backwards, but it doesn't flow as naturally for me, so I always like get stumped. It's like ZYXWVUT, and it's just like, it just trails off.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely cannot say the alphabet backwards.
Like, it's one of those sobriety tests where I'm just like, I can't even do this if I'm 100% sober.
Right?
Okay, so the problem with doing the scavenger hunt this late is, like, not only is everything darker and harder to see, but as you've noticed, there's bears and mountain lions. So, like, it's a lot more dangerous to go on the scavenger hunt this late into the game.
Yeah.
So what you gotta do here... No? I thought... Yeah, there we go. Pop out that miner skull. See, we're just checking through them.
Getting it done.
I remember where they were, just a lot of them were like so off the beaten path, I didn't want to like waste a previous episode. So I wanted to like condense some of them into this episode.
He gets EXP, right? And like a weird form.
He gains ranks. So yeah, they are kind of like EXP where like the number goes up.
Yeah.
And when it reaches, I believe 100, you get a rank up.
Okay.
So you could definitely view that as EXP.
I was gonna say, well, like even with it being darker and
It's
the
not
bears
done
and the mountain
through
lions, like
combat though. It's done through collectibles.
okay.
Whereas standard EXP you get through combat. Although there's some RPGs that like really branch that out. And it's like you don't just have to fight to get EXP. If you complete a side quest, you get EXP. If you discover a new location, you get EXP.
Yeah.
Like it's because that is like a common complaint with the RPGs, especially for those that aren't as into RPGs, is the grind of just battle
Yeah.
to get new stuff can get tiresome for some. Sometimes it gets tiresome for me, but for the most part, I have enough to just keep me going. It's a fun gameplay loop.
Yeah.
I'll just admit to that. It's a fun gameplay loop that I'm on board for. But for someone who's not, you're definitely like, oh, wow, I'm just repetitively battling to get slightly better.
Yeah. Well, I think like
It's not as satisfying for some players.
hey, guess what I'm about to bring up?
I think it's Yeez.
I think it might be Yeez.
Oh, boy.
I feel like Yeez does it really well because it's like, yes, there is a grind. You have to battle and battle and battle and battle.
Mm-hmm.
But each area has different monsters to battle and different levels of monsters to
Right,
battle.
yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, you have to fight the same little rabbit 8 million times all throughout the entire game at this level.
Mm-hmm.
It has like, oh, you've reached this level and you've unlocked this area. Pull up your bootstraps because shit's about to get real.
Right.
Like...
Yeah, it's less of a problem with modern RPGs because modern RPGs add a lot more to the table.
Yeah.
But when you go back to like a very old school one,
Oh, yeah.
it's very much required that you have to battle and grind to get strong enough so that you don't get your teeth kicked in at the next area.
Right.
So like you are repeatedly fighting that same rabbit, for instance, to reach a certain level where you get an ability
Right.
that makes the following boss easier. That's just how they were designed back then.
Yeah.
It was a very archaic way, but it was just like, what else could you do? Like
Yeah.
technology was in its infancy.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the extent of the programming.
It was really like bringing a new medium to like the tabletop RPG or like fantasy adventure games in general.
Right.
And like what we're seeing is a modern evolution where like there's more elements from different genres to kind of like condense that battle loop for those that want to play RPGs. Let's just say for the story, but they don't want to constantly fight and fight and fight. There's other things you can do. Like Yeez has what? Fishing.
Oh, yeah.
It has building the town. It has interacting with all these characters. There's synthesis. There's collecting materials.
You can shop. You can cook.
Exactly.
You can do metalworking. You can... Yeah, there's a lot you can do.
You can raise a farm. You can feed a bird. Toppins the bag.
Yeah.
Tuppence the bag, I'm sorry.
Toppins the bag?
Yeah. Feed the bird, Tuppence the bag.
Oh.
It's from Mary Poppins.
I've never
Poppins.
seen Mary Poppins.
That's that's on your list.
Yeah.
It's coming round the mountain.
We did just see Tarzan.
We did just see Tarzan. And there we go. I did have to be like, did you see it? You're just like, what? I'm just like, watch that in the background.
Yeah.
Behold. And now you understand why I'm a dark, messed up son of a bitch. Because, like, that Renaissance Disney was just more, I don't know if it was just sneaky or it's just like, let's try this. Who cares if it scars someone?
Yeah, I don't think it was sneaky. I think that it was just it was more widely accepted by society.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely think...
Because, like, I'm trying to think of the last, and I don't know why I consider that a sign of quality, but, like, maybe it's just, like, I like stories with risk and danger.
Yeah.
But the last Disney movie I saw that had a body count. Like, good and bad characters die in Tarzan the same way good and characters die in The Hunchback and Mulan.
Yeah.
And, like, that kind of
Well, I
stuff
think
in a
that-
story...
That era
That's what I
was also like, you know, that they show the shadow of the swinging body. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it, at that time, things like suicide were not necessarily shamed, but they weren't talked about.
Okay.
It wasn't like something that people could openly discuss. It was very uncomfortable. Like, it's still uncomfortable for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more widely talked about. So I think that media is more sensitive to it, to a default, because it's more talked about. So I think that's a lot of the reason why that era of movies seems to take a lot of risks with, like, darker content, because it's content of things that weren't discussed.
Okay.
So I don't think they realized how impactful certain things like that could be.
Okay.
But they took it to a detrimental level.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's like, sometimes people are just bad. And we saw that in Tarzan with Clayton. I was like, Carson? Close, but just wrong enough. But we see that with him, like, he's just a bad guy. Like, he doesn't have some weird tragic backstory, and no, he wanted to make money.
Yes.
So, like, you don't necessarily feel bad that he died,
Right.
or the nature of how he died. Whereas, like, now we have all of these, like, in-depth backstories of our villains, and that makes you feel bad if they die.
Yeah. What was interesting was, I will compare this to another movie we watched recently, Prince of Egypt.
So good.
Where, like, the villain doesn't die, spoilers, but he's left with nothing, and it's so impactful that, like, he basically pushes everything else away and causes the destruction of everything else to where, like, he's alone.
Yeah.
And just screaming out Moses to the point where it's just, like, fading away. That is all he has left. And, like, there's two moments where Moses says, "Goodbye, brother," and they are both very powerful.
Yeah.
The one is when he first leaves Egypt, and he's like, "Goodbye, brother," like, "I'm sorry." And the other one is, like, a healing release of, like, "Goodbye, brother." Like, this is...
The final...
This is goodbye.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that movie has no business being as good as it is.
No, it really doesn't. It is... I don't say this at all,
But, like, even
ever,
that movie
but,
had, like, the fangs and the teeth that I like in,
definitely
like,
a masterful
a story.
movie.
Yeah.
Like, the animation, the storytelling, the emotion, like, it was just so well done without being preachy.
Yes, that is very
Because
important.
that's what I was worried about. It's like,
Everyone
oh
is.
boy, like,
Absolutely.
this is going to be a preachy movie. And then, like, the way that they portrayed Moses was just so powerful and so relatable, and pretty much just the opposite of preachy. So
Yeah.
I would recommend, by the time this video comes out, it probably won't be out yet, but we are working on a Moses video.
Yep. A video for the Prince of Egypt, so look forward to that.
So, and we'll get more in depth. I don't want to spoil our feelings here. But
But no, that is one of the like biggest compliments that the movie gets. And like when everyone talks about it, they're just like, I do not share this religion, but I agree this is a masterful movie.
Oh, yeah.
And like there's so many layers to it with like not just the religion, but like there's that family aspect. There's that brotherhood aspect. There's that generational trauma aspect.
Well, I think
there's so many layers than just the faith layer.
I feel like the fact that it's like the faith layer is there is really important because the emotion is like if you don't bend, you'll break. Like his brother wasn't willing to bend.
Correct.
You know, he wasn't willing to try and meet them halfway, and he broke.
But
it's like that with everything.
You see the why of
but
like, clearly why he's in that position.
But I also think that a big factor is like just because Ramses didn't bend and he broke doesn't mean Moses won. Moses was devastated.
Yes. Oh my God. That is
so it's like, to me, that just shows like it's not, haha, I won. It's like, fuck, man, come on. Like, I care about you. And just that emotion to me is what makes it not preachy, but something that is...
Like, I did better during this viewing, but the first time where Moses leaves and he breaks down and cries, I cried.
I teared up a couple times. Yeah, I teared up a couple times in the movie.
To like, you could, like, the acting is just like spot on to where like you can hear the pain and the frustration of just like, why did I have to be the one to do this?
Yeah.
Why did it have to come to this? And like, I got what I wanted, but at what cost?
Right.
And like, it's just by hearing an actor crying that you get all these emotions.
Well, I think one thing that hypes it up isn't just the acting and the voice acting, it's the animation.
Fuck yeah.
Because like
you
could have an amazing voice actor doing a fantastic job, but if the animation isn't at the same level, it's not as impactful.
Yeah. How many
it almost
scenes
feels goofy.
do you just like get the emotions without a single line of dialogue in that movie? It's like, oh God.
It's that and just the animation in general of like
that's the kind of stories I
seek,
seek.
and like was just really, really good.
Sometimes there's beauty in silence.
Yeah.
Like smilence is golden, as I've said before, in
duct tape is silver.
A very God damn it. A very old small video essay I did on The Legend of Zelda of how like I think Link's specialty is in his silence.
Oh yeah.
It's what makes him such a defining character, and giving him a voice would destroy the entire purpose of that character and just kind of mold him into a character we've already seen before.
Absolutely.
Whereas him being a mute, there's so much creativity
when you have the silent characters that still have expression, they're not like a lack of character, they're still expressive and things like that. They have a personality, even though they don't talk. I feel like those are the characters that people tend to love the most because you put the character you want to see in them, and you can do that without making it weird because they don't talk.
Yeah.
So it's your interpretation of their facial expressions, of their movements, that creates their personality.
All right. So we did it. We completed the scavenger hunt.
Yay.
We went through all the shenanigans and grabbed everything. So now you talk to the ranger, and he's going to give you your rank boost.
Scavenger hunt.
Great Odin's rake! I don't think anyone's ever done the whole thing before. Well, hold still.
He's kind of like, wait, you actually did it? Okay.
It's like, God damn it.
All right, my telekinesis range has been extended.
This kid and the follow through, man.
That felt good.
Congratulations. Now
I just got like a heroin hit.
Yeah.
Hold still. All right, we are almost at rank 70. In the next episode, we're going to gather everything, and then we'll be back in the end game.
Sweet.